Primary 4s, welcome back to our art lessons for week 8. I hope everyone's been having fun doing their paper mache task. If you are not up to date on the paper mache task and you need a bit more time to complete your pig or animal before you start painting, go for it. Take this week to continue paper macheing. Work at your own pace. You do not have to get it all done week by week. I want everyone to have fun while they are doing their art tasks. Alrighty, now if you are not doing paper mache, that's okay. Just head over to the other task and you can do our other activity this week. This week we are going to be painting our paper mache pig. If you do not have any paint at home, I will show you some little tricks of how to make paint using things you might find in the kitchen or the bathroom. But in the end, paint does work best. So if you have acrylic or watercolor or any sort of paint at home, use what you have. If you only have certain colors, use those. It does not have to be a pig. It can be a different animal. It can be a cow with patches. It could just be covered in patterns. You could use the shape of the animal but not actually have any features of the animal. Use your own creativity. Use the materials that you have at home. Let's have a look at what I'm going to be using this week though. Alrighty, so what we need this week is our paper mache pig or animal. We will need a marker in order to draw some design onto our animal. We of course need some newspaper in order to limit the mess that we are making this week. And then you'll need some paints. Now I've got some acrylic, some watercolor, and then just a bunch of paints that I had left over from other tasks that I found around the house. So use whatever you have available to you. If you don't have any paints, you can use markers, but it will take a very long time to colour in your whole animal depending on how big you made him or her. If you do want to try making some paint this week, ask an adult if it is okay because it can get a little bit messy. You will need some bowls and then you will need some shaving foam, or you can also use the paper mache glue that we have been using, and you will also need some food colouring in order to give your paint some colour. So make sure you double check if you would like to try making some paint. Otherwise, use some paints that you have at home, anything you've got lying around, or you can use markers. First things first, make sure you put down some newspaper to cover the area you are working so that we limit the amount of mess we are going to be making. Then we need to get our paper mache animal. I've decided that mine is going to be a pig or some sort of animal, but I'm not going to paint it all the one colour. I'm going to paint different patches and shapes of different colours. That way I'm using lots and lots of different colours because my pig is quite big. Alrighty, so using a marker, or you can use a pen or a pencil. Just be careful because a pen or a pencil could poke a hole in our animal. So I'm using just a marker. We are going to draw some features or designs onto our animal so that we're not just starting to paint and making mistakes. We know what we are painting. So I'm going to get started now. Now this is the point where if you did want your pig to be a money bank, you would need to ask for some help to cut a slit in the top, so a money insert, which would just look like a rectangle. It would look a bit like that. Now, please make sure you're wearing an old shirt. That is okay to get paint on. It will protect your clothes. All right, so I've got my pig, that is, or animal, which is all designed. I've got some paint on a plastic palette, whether that's your paints that you have at home or paints that you've made, or you might have some markers to colour in with. I have those ready to go. And I also have some paint brushes and water ready to go. And I can just start painting away at my pig. Alrighty, keep going with your painting of your animal or pig or whatever it is going to end up being. And if you need to paint over 2 weeks, take your time, work at your own pace. You might find that you can only paint one side, let it dry, and then paint the other side, because it does get quite tricky when it comes to painting underneath. If you have time to keep going over the weekend, by all means go ahead. If you don't have enough time to work on it over the weekend, just keep working on it next week, work at your own pace. I hope everyone is having lots of fun with their paper mache task. I can't wait to see what they look like at the end. A few pointers, if you would like to add any additional features like ears, if you didn't add the ears during, you can always add some paper ears at the end by sticking those on. You can always use some wool in order to make a tail or some hair coming off your animal. Think about different ways that you can use the materials that you have at home to make your paper mache animal look spectacular. Can't wait to see what they all look like. I hope everyone's had fun. See you all next week.